Good Thursday evening, everybody. It is 6:30 on the nose. David Paul with you in the KHOU 11 Weather Center, where it's been a beautiful day today. Lower humidity made for a delightful morning. And then high temps did make the mid to upper 90s, but lower humidity helped it feel a little more comfortable in the shade. Still a hot day today. That's going to change tomorrow. Humidity is going to come back, and we're going to bring in a 10% chance for an isolated shower tomorrow afternoon. But overall rain chances stay low tomorrow. 40% rain chance on Saturday, 60% on Sunday. That as tropical moisture from the Pacific, from a storm that is hitting the Baja right now, that's coming into Texas to make for a rainy weekend, and there could be at least some isolated flooding concerns in parts of Texas this weekend. We're going to go over all of that as we move forward. It has been a gorgeous day. It's a beautiful evening. High temp at Bush went to 97 today. That at 2:51 in the afternoon. Normal's 93. Record's 109. Set on this day back in 2000. Record low is 59. Set on this day in 1974. So it can be very hot, and it can start to get cool this time of the year. We are into September. It's meteorological fall. The plants are feeling the shorter days and the lower sun angle, specifically the ragweed. This is ragweed season. It starts in August and goes into September, and by the middle and end of September, that's when it peaks. So we're still building ragweed sufferers. Now, we went from a ragweed count yesterday morning of 10 to a count of 58 this morning. That is measured right here in the Houston area, so we know exactly what the ragweed is here. It's not an estimate. And it's coming up. Mold is high, grass pollen count is high. And again, this time of the year, the plants, they're not, we're still hot. We're in the 90s, so the plants aren't blooming because of the temperature change. They're blooming because they are photosensitive. That means they can sense the number of hours of daylight. And when the number of hours of daylight, specifically for a lot of plants, drops below 12 hours a day, those plants feel the change of season that way, and they know it's time for them to bloom. And the ragweed's one of them. Outside right now, morning lows this morning. Did you get up early this morning? Are you a runner? You a walker in the morning? It was delightful. Morning low of 66 in Tomball. Conroe woke up to 65. Huntsville 68. That 72 at Bush felt good. Even the 76 at Hobby felt pretty good as well. 73 was the morning low in Angleton, Cleveland 65. So we started out beautiful. All of this a result of lower humidity, lower dew points. Dew points right now are still comfortable. They're 61 in Houston. So we're going to go into the evening feeling nice. Once that sun gets a little lower and goes down, run outside, take a walk. It's going to be a beautiful start to the evening. The lower humidity, the lower dew points won't last. Watch what happens overnight tonight. We go from the low 60s and even some upper 50s right now into the mid 70s by tomorrow morning. And that's the humidity, that's the Houston humidity coming back. So tomorrow morning is going to be a little more sticky than it was this morning. That also is a reflection of more moisture coming in for what's going to be kind of a wet weekend. Galveston, you continue to show off. So it's been almost a month, a stretch of straight days for a month long that you've had clear water. The Mississippi River, the current that carries the Mississippi River mud and usually keeps our water a little bit browner than this, has pushed offshore. And so we're just enjoying beautiful visibility in the water. It's delightful. That continues this evening. Hello, Murdochs. Blue sky, nothing but a reflection of the lower dew points and lower humidity right now, but the sun heating it up. 96 at Bush, Hobby 95. Sugar Land's 98 at 6:30 in the evening. Conroe 93. Dry air like we have right now, the dry air will heat up faster and it cools down faster. That's why we'll get extremes in temperature when we have low dew points like we have right now. Huntsville's at 94, Wharton sitting on 95. It will be a nice evening. For about another hour, we may have air quality issues on the east side, the orange area, the Channel View, Ship Channel to Baytown to Mont Belvieu to Liberty, seeing levels that are could be impactful to sensitive groups. If you have emphysema, if you have breathing problems, you can stay in the air conditioning and that will protect you from the ozone levels out there. Those will go down very quickly as the sun goes lower on the horizon. After 7 o'clock, they should drop down to good levels. As far as rain chances go, tomorrow morning, quiet as a mouse. We'll go into lunchtime, should be quiet, but you'll notice the humidity coming back up. And with mid 90s to upper 90s on the card tomorrow and a little more humidity, we could see a few isolated showers tomorrow afternoon. Bear with me. Let me back that up so you can see it. So a couple of isolated showers are definitely possible tomorrow afternoon, going into 5:30. There we go. It's not much, but they're there. Isolated shower, especially north of I-10. That's tomorrow, late afternoon and evening, going into 5:30. Now, let's push forward in time. This is Saturday morning. This will be moisture, rain in central and north Texas coming in from that Pacific storm. And so we're moistening up the atmosphere in Texas Saturday morning. I think we start dry for most of us Saturday morning, but then going into even by noon on Saturday, a little more widespread scattered shower and thunderstorm activity coming in from west to east across the area as the moisture comes in from the Baja, and that's going to make for a wet time of it in Texas as we go through the weekend. So Saturday will begin to raise rain chances, and I think it's even wetter on Sunday. Tropics. So this time of year, the entire Atlantic basin is open for business, and this is the time of year when you can get these long track hurricanes coming from way out in the open Atlantic. Notice how the tracks generally want to bend north as they come closer to the continental United States. And this one we're tracking out here looks like it may follow one of these tracks into the northern islands as we head into next week. Here's where we stand in the tropics right now. Nothing in the Gulf and the Caribbean. Those are just scattered thunder showers near Cuba and the Florida Straits. And it doesn't look like much, but that little spot right there is got a little curlicue to it, and it looks like it's getting better organized. And the Hurricane Center now giving this a 90% chance for development over the next 7 days. Right there is your wave. So that's still several thousand miles away from the continental United States. We've got lots of time to keep an eye on it. Models say this, running both the Euro and the American simultaneously. By next Tuesday, perhaps we've got a hurricane, that says the American model, and perhaps we've got a tropical storm right here, says the Euro. Now watch what happens when I put this in motion. The Euro solution just fizzles out and vanishes. The Euro loses it. It suggests the storm is going to stay weak and then weaken back into nothing, while the American model will intensify a hurricane and perhaps impact the northern islands of the Caribbean. So here we go. We'll put it in motion. The Euro will vanish, and there is the hurricane that the American model thinks will really take over. And this one, could threaten Puerto Rico, the northern islands of the Caribbean. That's going into Saturday and Sunday of next week. So we're 10 days out. So take that outcome with a grain of salt. Take the Euro losing the storm with a grain of salt. Long-range forecasting on these can be very tricky, but that's where we stand, and we do watch that guidance. At the moment, it keeps the Caribbean and the Gulf quiet through next week. And again, I'll remind you, even that can change overnight. This time of the year, you got to watch the weather at least once a day. Lorena is a tropical storm that is weakening as it interacts with the Baja right now. You can already see, though, there's the moisture coming into Arizona and New Mexico, and it's curlicuing into Texas. Tomorrow and Saturday, they may have quite a bit of rain here across New Mexico. They could see a flash flood threat there with moisture from Lorena as it piles in there. But Saturday night and Sunday, that's going to get into Texas. So tropical moisture heading into Texas this weekend from the Pacific. This is a very common thing to see in September during hurricane season. The troughs begin to lift the moisture out from these Pacific storms into the lower 48. This is the map by Sunday, and by that time we may have lots of heavy rain across the state, including Houston down to Corpus and into central Texas. Now looking at rain totals, this is still looking at broad brush totals. Let's start with the Houston area. Northeast side, maybe the lighter green, maybe only a tenth to a quarter of an inch rain totals over the weekend. But you get from downtown to the south and west, and rain totals begin to be suggested at anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to 1.25 to 1.5 inches, getting down toward Matagorda Bay. So depending on where you are, you may see some heavier shower activity over the coming weekend here in Houston. It is here in central Texas and, in the hill country where they may have more widespread heavy rain. And when we look at the Storm Prediction Center's flood risk outlook for Sunday, they suggest that, right in here in the hill country, they've got a little bit of an elevated flash flood risk. It's a 2 out of a 4-tiered risk assessment for flooding west of San Antonio into the hill country. For southeast Texas, it's more general scattered heavy downpours, so it's a marginal risk, a 1 out of 4. That usually means our risk is some isolated street ponding. Bigger picture, temperature outlook. A little cooler for the East Coast. We stay at or above normal here across Southeast Texas. That's for the time period a little further out, September 10th through September 14th. So that's what's on the horizon. And then as far as rainfall goes, we may go into a spot where we still could see some scattered showers, but lower than normal rain totals for the time period between September 10th and September 14th for Houston. A little bit above normal rain totals for the Pacific Northwest, but we could go into a warm and dry period as we head into the middle of September. Here's Friday, 75, dry start, but more humidity, 91 by noon, and then 95 is the high temp tomorrow, a 10% chance for an isolated shower on Friday. The extended forecast, Saturday will ramp rain chances to 40%. I showed you the modeling on that. Scattered showers in the morning toward lunchtime on Saturday is what the high-res models are suggesting. Sunday, 60% chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms, and that could begin in the morning and be off and on all day on Sunday. Still a 40% chance on Monday. I think this 40% chance happens in the morning as this front is going to push through. That will clear us out Monday evening, and then lower humidity. I think more noticeable, more widespread lower humidity, which means much more comfortable air for Tuesday and Wednesday as we get a dry frontal boundary pushing through here to drop humidity. Temps still end up in the 90s for highs in the afternoon. All right, that's where we stand on this Thursday, Friday Eve. Friday Junior is what Mia calls it. Have a good evening, everybody.